Should you get a degree as a backup plan if you're going to become a pilot? We're going to explore a question that's often asked by current and aspiring pilots: whether or not you should get a degree as a backup in case your aviation career starts to face some turbulence. Let's break down what we're going to review in this video. First, we're going to talk about why pilots would even consider a backup plan in the first place. Second, the burning question around this topic is, if you do get a degree as a backup, do you get a degree in aviation or something not related to aviation? If you do decide that you want a backup plan, is a degree the only option? Let's start with that first point. Why are pilots even considering a backup plan? This question isn't necessarily unique to aviation. When this topic is brought up, it is usually to consider options to provide the utmost financial security in your life, and to not be reliant on one industry when it comes to your income generation. In regards to being a pilot, there are usually two reasons people consider a backup plan. First is industry slowdowns. We saw an example of these slowdowns during the COVID lockdowns, but it didn't take long for the industry to pick back up. This slowdown already had a big impact on the pilot shortage that already existed, and that's why there's so many opportunities right now in the airline industry. Second is personal reasons, which is essentially the risk of you losing the ability to maintain your pilot certifications. This is usually tied to the loss of your medical certificate from medical conditions, mental health concerns, etc. There's also the risk of training or proficiency issues. Pilots are required to maintain a certain level of proficiency and training. If those standards aren't met, you may lose your ability to fly. Typically, there's a lot of redundancy in place to prevent this being an issue, and if you're trained really well from the start, you usually don't have to be too concerned about it. So let's say you're risk averse, which you should be as a pilot, and you decide that you want to get a degree as a backup plan. Should you get a degree related to aviation or not? Many pilots opt for a non-aviation degree, considering it's such a prudent contingency plan. This strategy is rooted in the need for a backup career path should unforeseen circumstances impact their flying abilities, or if the aviation industry starts to face some challenges. However, it's essential to recognize that losing the ability to fly doesn't necessarily equate to your removal from the aviation industry. Historically, the aviation industry has weathered temporary setbacks in specific industry sectors, making it resilient in the face of challenges. Conversely though, some people actually decide that they want to pursue a degree that is in aviation. An aviation-related degree can significantly bolster your resume and broaden your prospects within the industry beyond piloting. It demonstrates a profound commitment to aviation, which can be a valuable asset in your career journey. Should unforeseen circumstances affect your flying career, or if the aviation sector encounters difficulties, there's a multitude of alternative sectors within the industry to explore. These include aircraft engineering, airport management, aerospace, and so much more. Most individuals entering the aviation industry have a passion for aviation, and they do everything they can to try to keep themselves close to that industry. There is one problem with getting a degree as a backup plan. Degrees are really expensive. So are there other options for a backup plan? There are definitely cheaper alternative options that you can choose from. Some pilots explore alternative routes to financial security, such as acquiring a trade skill or even getting into industries such as trucking. Which, oddly enough, the whole trucking concept was presented as an option in the original Top Gun movie, because Maverick just buzzed the tower and they just got yelled at for it, and Goose thinks that they're going to be fired, so he asked for the Trucking Academy phone number. So yeah. Anyways, gaining a profitable skill set through something such as trade schools is typically more affordable, easily accessible, and requires a shorter time commitment. There is another alternative as well, which is through investments. This is really popular among pilots. As you may know, pilots get paid really well, and it doesn't take them long to get there. What they will sometimes do with that extra cash flow is put it into things like stocks, real estate, or even start side businesses. Many successful pilots have found a way to secure their future as a pilot without relying on having to get a degree as a backup plan. In the end, the decision to pursue a degree as a backup or choose an alternative path depends on your individual circumstances, goals, and resources. If you decide to get a degree, we highly recommend you check out our video, College vs. Flight School, where we go over which one you should actually go to first. We even briefly go over our partnerships with Purdue Global to obtain your degree while getting paid as a pilot. So do you need a backup plan? And if you do, should you get a degree as a backup plan, or should you choose an alternate path? Ultimately, that choice is yours, and that decision should align with your unique goals and your circumstances. Our aim has been to provide you the information needed for you to make an informed decision. Remember, whatever path you choose, don't let it deter you from pursuing your passion to become a career pilot. The aviation industry is robust, the demand for pilots is higher than ever, and the pilot community is a tightly knit, supportive network. At Blue Line Aviation, we're here to help you join this vibrant community sooner rather than later. By training with us in our accelerator program, where we can take you from zero experience to a career pilot in as little as 5.5 months. You can jumpstart your aviation journey and begin your immersion into the pilot community right from the start, allowing you to explore all of your various opportunities from inside the industry rather than from outside of it.